Good evening. My name is Emily, and my Etsy store is Yesterday's Stash. And this evening, I have a book that I have put together. It's actually a book of Bible verses, and I found the book is actually it was an album or photo album or something that I found at my thrift store. And it had a bunch of, bamboo and different pieces of wood on it. So I took all of that off and folded it so that I could have a nice fat spine. And, so it's a real sturdy. The interesting thing about this book is that I have used elastic rubber bands for the signatures so that you could actually go in, a person could actually go in and take the center out and, and put something else in it. The book does not have any individual pages for journaling. So it's really more of an assortment of Bible verses and a place to collect Bible verses. It's got lots of pockets in it. Excuse me. And I've put hem tape here to tie the book together. And I've used some Prima flowers and put a verse here that has a clear heat and bond on it. And so it's 30 pages. Front and back would be a total of 60 pages. So each of the spines is 5 pages times 2 makes 10 pages. And then front and back makes 20. So that's the way that I have it set up. And the actual dimensions of the book, I need to get my ruler for that. The actual dimensions of the book are about 7.5 by 6 3/4, and it has pretty much a 3-inch spine. And the spine has wallpaper on it. So let's take a look at it. I used a lot of scrapbook pages. I'm trying to use up my scrapbook pages, as far as destashing is concerned. I have bought a few. My favorite scrapbook book is Theodosia Square, and then I collected most all of Tim Holtz of his books. But for the most part, the scrapbook pages that I have are just thrift store pickups. So, and I love magazines, and I love to look at magazines, and so there's several pictures in here that are just pictures that I have cut out of magazines. Magazines has such a nice glossy finish that it's that it's nice to use those. This here is these thoughtfuls, and thoughtfuls are little cards that you open them up. I haven't opened any of these, but you open them up and they have themes on them, and the name of the company is called Compendium, and I've got a little bit of glue on my finger right there, ink, and it's liveinspired.com, of which I will put that in the description box below. But this is how you buy them. Here's an example. You Matter and Smile. You can get them, online, but also you can get them at gift shops. Like I've bought some at gift shops when I've gone to the beach. And actually, the most recent one I bought came from a cake store. that, you know, people like to add a little something extra special when they take somebody a cake. So, and then I have taken and used several different Etsy sellers digital kits for the verses, and I've gone in and done a little bit of doodling, and I have run these off on photo paper, so they're all kind of nice and shiny. And all of the pages are thicker, you know, that you would see on scrapbook pages. If it didn't have a back to it, then I added a back so that the page could be extra thick. This particular set came from a Downton Abbey kit that I found partially put together. So this is also from that. So there's quite a few of those. Try to use as many varied pieces of ephemera. This is you know, a lot of machine sewing and a lot of lace. But here's an example of a picture of a magazine out of a magazine that I added this green trim to, and some more of the Bible verses. And moving on, this is actually a picture out of a magazine of a family picking fruit, and some of these I actually, you know, have pockets to go that you could actually take things out, and others don't have the pocket. This is a set of ATC cards or business cards that you can add your own Bible verse to. And then this is a little positivity quote. This is sort of a one that I made some time back, and I put a smooth glitter on it. Stamps are a good piece of ephemera. This particular paper had a border on it, and so I took and used that. This is handmade paper, and I cut out a window so that this picture out of a magazine, you know, could be seen. Some of this paper I was able to print some of the verses from, you know, from the Etsy sellers on actual scrapbook paper if it had a light enough finish that it didn't, you know, clash, or that you could still see it. So I love to sew. So most all of my books are going to have some sort of machine stitching, you know, in them, and I have just a huge quantity of lace, and so that you'll see a lot of lace in my books. And this is a handmade tag that I took a piece of wallpaper and added some lace and just glued it all down, and then did a circle stitch, circular or oval stitch on my sewing machine to go around. And these are more of those that you can put your own verse in. Did some layering with some paper, fabric, and a piece of fabric flower, and used lace for a bow. This is a little corner pocket here with some store-bought, or came in a kit of some sort, tags. This is Bible verses that you can color, and this is a set of flowers that I found out of a magazine. Another picture out of a magazine. And a lot of my thrift store sells lace, and so you can go in there and at any time and find just really interesting lace. And here's an example of one that's variegated. And then these are what we call yo-yos. And I found a whole set of quilting in a big fabric in a big bag that the person just didn't finish the quilt. And I did a video on it, and so I used one of those, folded it over, and made it into a pocket. And here I have put 2 more. So all in all, we have over 25 detached cards, and then about the same number of cards over that are attached. So and I tried to make a lot of distance between the signatures so that you could make the book even thicker if you wanted to. So this is the second signature. There's just a lot of really good digital kits being sold by Etsy sellers, and I since I don't know how to do that, I have used a lot of the digital kits from the Etsy sellers. So there's probably 5 or 6 different ones from Etsy sellers as far as the different designs of the Bible verses. I also did some, I'm sure you know about this. We take a piece of this bubble wrap, and you can use that on as a little decor. And this is an open, usually you leave it like this and then it comes open. That's the Rita Donnelly way, but I just made this to be open, and so that you could see some of it, and this actually goes down in here. So and different pages, different opportunities for you to add your own verses if you have a verse that you want to paste in here. This is quite a few different kits from scrapbook pages. So this is where I did a napkin, took a part of a napkin and just put it on here as a collage. Piece of lace that I glued down over here. This is a set of, this is the woven. I found a whole set of woven using little miniature weave it things. So I added the word joy and made this into a tag, which I don't think it goes in this page. Maybe it goes in this page. Well, there's just beautiful scrapbook paper out there that can be used. There's more collaging here with those little miniature yo-yos. And you can just do so many different things with, my books are as good as the thrift stores I go to, because 99% of what I use comes from thrift stores, even glue. Once I found this huge thing of glue and brought it home and just filled all my little glue containers. But recently have purchased this E6000 extreme tack glue, and so I did pay full price for that. And this is a piece of embroidery that I played around with, and another piece of magazine paper. Again, different opportunities for you to add your own. Right here, I left a place open. This is some cross stitching that I found that I find at my thrift store also has sewing things, and people just donate their leftover projects, and so I can get these for, like a big finished product for $1 just to take it out, and then I cut it up and put it in the books. Another open space. It is so much fun to put these books together, especially when you have the tools that you need. For instance, I try to stay away from the thrift store as much as I can, because it's very easy, to go in and, kind of have a plan in mind of what you're going to get, and then end up finding other things that you want, or that look good, or that you just can't live without. So, again, a lot of fun to make. This book will be for sale in my Etsy store. This is actually my latest purchase, is from Tracy Fox Studios. She had a set of houses. She calls them called them beautiful houses, and I stuck that in there. And this is what the back of the photo album looked like, so I just left it the same that it was. So again, just a great pleasure to make the book. The book is going to be called Affection, because the very front cover says, "Set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth." So I thought that Affection would be a good title for it. So if you have any questions about it, the book will be for sale in my Etsy store. And my Etsy store is Yesterday's Stash, all one word, with 2 S's, Yesterday's Stash. And I'm happy to answer any questions that anyone has about this book. So, and thanks for coming along and watching this, and we'll talk again soon.